That doesn't look like any chicken parmesan I've ever seen before. What's up, guys? Readiness Rations here with you again. And both me and my lovely wife are currently trapped at home due to the most extreme winter weather Georgia has experienced in more than a decade. And we decided there was no better way to spend our snow day than to try some emergency ration food. Chef 5 Minute Meals recently sent me a buttload of their newest ration products. Chef 5 Minute Meals is well known in the survival food community, but this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to check out so many of their products at one time.
Before we get into it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up for the Google algorithm.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future ration reviews, both commercial and military.
Now let's dig in.
So Jason from Chef 5 Minute Meals reached out to me shortly after Hurricane Helene and said that he wanted to send us some products for review. Apparently they were super busy at that time because their warehouse in Tennessee was damaged in the hurricane. We have finally received our promised pile of new ration products. Each one of these pouches is 8 ounces or 227 grams. They are made in the USA. The kits contain a self-heating bag oven with flameless heater and activator solution, utensil, napkin, and salt and pepper. Some of the older Chef 5 Minute Meal products were more of a complete meal, a lot like an MRE. They might have side dishes or possibly drinks. These new kits appear to be more of just a main entree pack, and now we just have to decide on which ones to taste test. Our first pack here is a chicken pasta parmesan and tomato cheese sauce. The chicken parm is 190 calories, and the best buy date on this is an impressive May 22nd, 2029.
Next up, we've got a spaghetti and meat sauce.
And whoa, that one contains a surprising 400 calories. That's more than twice the last one.
Beef chili with beans at 270 calories and 15 grams of protein.
A vegetarian chili, that one's only 170 calories, but contains 11 grams of protein and 34 grams of carbohydrates.
Sweet and sour chicken, sitting at 220 calories and 10 grams of protein.
Basil cheese ravioli and sauce, that one's 180 calories with only 7 grams of protein.
And lastly, cheese tortellini in marinara sauce with 250 calories and 8 grams of protein.
So there's actually a fair amount of variance in the macros from meal to meal with these. How many of these do you think we can take out in one review, my dear?
I haven't eaten all day, so I think we can do 3.
Which one's sounding good? I think right away we have to do the chicken pasta parmesan. That sounds delicious.
Definitely. Next up, I think sweet and sour chicken sounds good.
Now we had 2 different chilies, but we had 3 pasta-like items, so I suppose we should knock out one of those. How about the basil ravioli and cheese sauce? These pouches seem to be set up pretty well for an on-the-go meal. They have a decent little carry handle, and it looks like Chef 5 Minute Meals is advertising these for off-road, sport, on-the-water, fishing, hunting, backpacking, and camping purposes. They would also make a great emergency survival meal if you're snowed in like we are today. We have a tear notch on there, so let's tear into this one. We do have our promised little accessory pack, spork, napkin, salt and pepper, an impressively large flameless ration heater, and a silvery retort pouch for the main entree. Simply marked basil cheese rav in sauce. Let's tear into our ration heater. Uh-oh. So I didn't do the best job of opening the top of that, but hopefully everything will be okay. In that, we have a substantial heating element with 8 individual elements and a package of activator that apparently we should not drink.
The forbidden drink. I'm very tempted.
These directions are actually a little bit complex, but it looks like they have both pouch meals and tub meals. I'm guessing ours is the pouch variety. So we will put the heating pad alongside the pouch, insert both down into the bag, tear the top on our activator. That is pure clear. Smells like nothing, so I'm guessing this activator is most likely just salt water. Try not to make a mess while I dump the activator into the bag here. Be sure to get the entire heating element saturated with our saline solution. Fold it over, and that should be nice and hot in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Wow, it is blowing up. It's like a balloon.
Definitely is getting hot. We got some steam coming out of it. Let's get right into our sweet and sour chicken. Looks like we've got another pouch here, another spork with salt and pepper and a napkin, and of course our flameless ration heater.
All right, see if you can tear that one any better than I did.
Okay. It is perforated a little bit. We'll just go ahead and plop everything in to our little bag and take our forbidden beverage and pour it on in.
One more to go, our chicken parmesan. And it looks like that's more of the same. Maybe we didn't get one of the tub meals. Let's get this heating like the other two and everything on a tray. I don't think I've ever had so many ration heaters going at the same time. I can literally feel it heating the room up. So the first one that we activated is up to 175 degrees. That one is over 200 degrees. Holy crap. And our third one is a respectable 180. Those might be the hottest heaters we've ever experienced on the channel. It's been more than 5 minutes for our ravioli and sauce. This is really hot to handle. Let's get our retort pouch out of there. I think our little stove here has a lot of heating potential left in it, but that feels like a pretty warm retort pouch to me. Looks like it's about 126. So perhaps it would have been a good idea to give it a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Tear into this one. Oh boy. And there is our ravioli and sauce.
Smells like a can of Chef Boyardee.
It definitely has that retort pouch tomato sauce kind of smell. Guess we'll pour this one in our top compartment here.
It's a big ravioli. Is it just 1 or 2 raviolis?
Yeah, I think there's 2, maybe 3 in there at the most.
Okay.
The sauce is very thin. Let's get our provided spork here. So right on top we can see there are some button mushrooms in this. There are some tomato chunks in the sauce. And I also see flakes of herb. Of course, this was basil ravioli, so I'm assuming that's most likely basil. I see a little onion there. As far as the ravioli themselves go, it looks like there are only 2. They are gigantic raviolis though.
1 per person.
Let's cut into one of our raviolis. That is super ultra soft. There's our cheesy ravioli interior.
It looks like a pretty thick, doughy ravioli, but I'm very hungry, so I'm about ready to dig in.
Down the hatch. Yeah, that tastes like Chef Boyardee.
I'm not mad about it though.
The pasta shell is extremely soft. It just kind of mushed away in my mouth.
The sauce itself is quite tangy. You can definitely tell they used some pretty good products in here. I could go for some Parmesan cheese though.
I think it could stand to be a bit hotter. Maybe if we left it in there for 7 or 10 minutes, it'd be a little nicer, but it's definitely warm enough to eat. I am a little concerned about this sauce to ravioli ratio here. I think they could have squeezed a 3rd ravioli in that pouch, to be honest, because it looks like after we eat this, we're going to have a lot of leftover sauce and nothing to eat it with. Flavor-wise, it's very tomato forward. You get that zingy acidity. I do pick up on a little bit of the basil in the background, but the cheese flavor of the ravioli is quite subdued. I would like to see a little bit sharper cheese added to it, like some sharp Parmesan. By no means is this bad tasting, but I do think it needs a little bit of help. So we'll add our singular pack of black pepper, and I don't think salt would hurt, so we'll add some extra salt to it as well, and that should just waken everything up a little bit more. Salt and pepper ravioli. Right away, the sodium hits. I can barely detect the black pepper. Having that extra salt, though, really brings out that herbal basil flavor for me, at least.
I agree. You think this would be enough for 1 person? We are sharing, so they are divided by 2.
As a singular meal with no other items, this is very light on calories, and I don't think it's really enough to keep a person going. If you were eating this along with something else, like some crackers or maybe some fruit, that would be more of a complete meal, I think. In my opinion, this ravioli is more of a snack than anything. Admittedly, a decently tasty snack it is, though. These other 2 have had a much longer cook time, and this one is a scorching 153 on the outside. That is our sweet and sour chicken. I can see a lot of rice in there, but it looks pretty saucy. Dump a little in this container and a little in this one. This is steaming hot. And we'll go ahead and plate up our chicken Parmesan as well. Again, a very saucy entree. That doesn't look like any chicken Parmesan I've ever seen before.
Definitely never had a chicken Parmesan with shells before, but it doesn't look too bad.
Where is the chicken?
Where is the chicken? See some vegetables and a lot of noodles. There's a chicken, I think.
For the sweet and sour chicken, I think one of the compartments got all the chicken. So I'll transfer a couple bites of chicken to the other one. In this mix, we have some green bell pepper, some red bell pepper. We have rice. I see little flakes of black pepper. And we have our chicken bits there. That it looks to be a dark meat chicken, and it's falling apart pretty easily with gentle pressure from the spork. So I think it's going to be fairly tender. This does have sort of a sticky sauce that everything's suspended in, and I just uncovered a chunk of pineapple, so maybe there'll be a little sweetness with this as well. The main aroma that's giving off, though, is red bell pepper. I got a heaping bite here.
It's very sticky.
Exactly, the sauce is oddly sticky.
But the flavors aren't very bad, I suppose.
For me, it's a little on the bland side. I do pick up a little bit of sweetness, but not really much else.
I think this one could also benefit from some more salt and pepper. I prefer if the chicken bits were a little bit more substantial.
Definitely doesn't have that much chicken in it, that's for sure. We'll go salt and pepper on it though. And get another bite here.
That does help.
I still don't know why that sauce is so sticky. Not sure what would do that. This doesn't taste bad though. I mean, I would happily eat this. It's just a little bit underwhelming. It needs some additional flavor modifiers. Maybe a little bit of hot sauce or a little drizzle of soy sauce. Something to just kick the flavor up a little bit more.
Chili peppers, maybe.
One thing I can say though is the chicken is very tender. It was a little bit dry, but soft enough where everything went down nice and easy. It's not a succulent Chinese meal, but at least I'm not getting arrested eating it.
Why did you do this?
Pop in the car.
Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Succulent Chinese meal. Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest.
We each killed our compartment, so I guess that speaks for itself. Now let's get a close look at our chicken parmesan.
I think these were the only bits of chicken that I could find outright.
We have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 tiny little bits of chicken there.
Oh, here's another.
So maybe they're sort of distributed through the mix. There's definitely way more of this little shell pasta than there is chicken. These noodles are ridiculously soft. Look at how that mushes with the spork there. That is standard practice with retort pouch pasta though. Super normal. That's just the way it is. I see some onion in here, some green bell pepper, and there's a little flake of herb every now and then. The ratio of sauce to pasta on this is better than the ravioli in my opinion. It seems about right to get even bites with this one. It's not particularly fragrant other than having that very characteristic retort pouch tomato sauce smell. That is some weird looking chicken parmesan, but down the hatch we go. Man, those are soft. I can pick up on a little bit of Italian herb flavor on the background, which is tasting pretty good to me. I can tell you right away this needs some help in the flavor enhancer department. Without taking even another bite, this needs salt 100%. And we might as well put the pepper on there as well. I'll make sure I get a piece of chicken in this bite because I did not in my first. The chicken has a very similar texture to that we experienced with the sweet and sour chicken. It's a little bit dry, but cooked very soft. And I do think it's a dark meat chicken. The chicken does bring a little extra flavor to the party. So when you get a bite with the chicken, it's quite a bit better because you get sort of that meat juice thing going on. The salt helped a lot though. I can really tell the sodium level is more appropriate at this point.
I think this does have a step above the ravioli simply for portion alone. The flavor is pretty similar though.
In my opinion, the tomato sauce in the ravioli was superior to this, but this is a far more complete meal. It has a whole lot more pasta and would be a lot more filling. We have absolutely decimated all 3 of these meals, so although it might not be the most delicious gourmet treat, this food is extremely edible. And for a day like today when you really can't get out on the roads and go to the grocery store or a restaurant, and you just want a quick, easy, ready-to-eat entree, these Chef 5-minute meals get the job done. If you were planning to store these for emergency survival purposes, I would definitely store some other things along with them, so that way you can make a little bit more complete meal. These would be a fantastic option for the centerpiece of your own sort of homemade MRE.
Definitely would be good for our next hiking or kayaking adventure.
They do sort of market these as an outdoor food option to compete with companies like O'Mills or Mountain House. And I will say the fact that these are not freeze-dried, that you can just open them up and eat them without adding anything to them, is a big bonus.
Certainly beats having to drive through the snow and ice to get to the grocery store.
True that.
Word.
I want to extend a huge thank you to Jason from Chef 5-Minute Meals for sending these rations our way, and I'm looking forward to checking out the other menus in the future. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit it with a thumbs up to help it out with the algorithm.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future content.
And we'll catch you guys in the next video. See you then. Peace.